Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 Conclave as King Waldev of Scotland, though probably for not much longer, if I had to guess, since in the last episode we just contracted typhoid fever, which is -2 health to go with our -1 from being stressed, though we do have +1 from our family focus, but back on the negative side, we are 61 years old, so we're getting on in years, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we were to die pretty soon, which is unfortunate, but I guess we could have a worse heir. At least he's relatively competent. He's ambitious as well, so that's a pretty good trait to have. Unfortunately, he is 46 years old, so I would prefer a younger heir, but we are not able to get anybody to vote for anybody else other than Wallen here. So we will just have to make do with him. But we also did manage to conquer the county of Oriel, as we are now calling it, which actually gives us enough land in Ireland to create the kingdom title if we wanted to, but I think I'm going to hold off on doing that for the moment. It would be useful prestige to form that if we were to have a succession right now. And for the same reason, I'm going to hold off on granting the Duchy of Ulster, which we are currently holding, because if we create a new duke after succession, we'll at least have one relatively powerful vassal who's happy with us, which could be important. Looks like we have a lot of typhoid fever, which I'm assuming is what this is, sweeping across the countryside. So we'll just wait a while here and see if we recover or die. Oh, I feel weak as a babe, but the cursed fever has finally broken. I could eat a horse. So we managed to survive it. I guess we'll just keep our family focus for a while. Hope we live a little bit longer. Maybe we'll just go ahead and give away the duchy title now then. Okay, we're getting faster levy reinforcements, which is actually useful since we're not at full reinforcement. And the county was converted, which is good. We have nothing else that needs converting. Alright, I guess it might be better to hold on to this county, though. I mean, the Earl of Ulster here is going to be unhappy because he desires the duchy title. Same with our newly conquered countess. He's also unhappy that we conquered her, I guess, as well. Anyway, we lost our spy master, the Duke of Moray. So we have another new Duke of Moray, who is only 4 years old. Okay. Well, he won't be causing us any problems, at least, and it means we can appoint somebody else to the council for at least the next 12 years. We don't have any other powerful vassals who want to be on here. So we can appoint our commander, I suppose, but then he won't be available to command troops, so maybe we won't do that. Also, he's a possessed heretic. Yeah, I guess we'll just appoint our Duke of Man in that case, because he's the best person for the job. And send him off to Constantinople. Steal some of their secrets. Uh-oh, Mayor Ronald here, our Chancellor, has contracted typhoid fever. While he's over here fabricating claims. You discovered a plot where Alexander Dunbar, our nephew, seeks to kill Wallen, our heir and Tanist. I'm actually okay with that. I'm not going to ask him to stop, because I wouldn't mind too much if Wallen died and we could have somebody else as our heir. On the other hand, we might end up with Alexander as our heir with the Kinslayer trait, which I guess would be bad. Yeah, we'll just let the plot go on and see what happens. The rumors regarding me and my alleged chastity We've grown into ridicule. Something has to be done, or my reputation as a strong man and king will suffer. Yes, we are chaste. We have managed to have 4 children, so we can't be that chaste. We can declare my love for my wife and have a 5% chance of losing chaste and have our wife become lustful. Ooh, she's already lustful, but she's also depressed and ill right now. Or we can pay somebody to spread stories about my manliness with a 25% chance of losing chaste, but it costs us gold and prestige. I think we'll just declare our love for our wife and see what happens. No effect, I guess. France wants to upgrade our non-aggression pact into an alliance. I think we'll go ahead and take that right now. We're not going to get called into any wars immediately with them, hopefully. Or at least they're not in any right now. No matter how many times I try to point out the virtues of Marshal Guéric de Moray, my wife Felicita won't listen. She cannot take no for an answer, not when she has decided that her friend should be Marshal. Okay. So it's actually our son, Prince Somerled, that she wants to appoint as Marshal. Well, I mean, the Duke here is never going to like us, so his opinion penalty for being fired from the council won't matter, but being on the council prevents him from being in factions, so we're just going to have to say no. So she's going to be not happy at all, unfortunately. But there's a pretty good chance she'll die soon, so perhaps it won't matter. So we could at some point here go ahead and form the Kingdom of Ireland and start conquering some of these counts. But there are downsides to that, because us having the kingdom title will cause the dukes and I think the counts, maybe not the counts in Ireland, to have an opinion penalty against us because they desire the title. On the other hand, though, I think we need to conquer more land to be able to stand up against England when they declare war on us again, which I'm sure they will at some point. Although, we do have Norway and France allied with us right now. In fact, with them on our side, we might be able to declare war on England ourselves if we have a suitable CB. We only have tributary. France and Norway would come in, they have no allies. Only our rival on the council would vote against us. We could make them a tributary, though. Though I think the relationship ends when we die, which is probably going to happen fairly soon, so probably not worth doing for that reason. Alright, I think we will create the kingdom title, though. I don't think there's too much point in waiting. So it costs us gold and piety, which we can afford. And let's see, that should be on Tanistry succession, I believe, since we had our primary title on Tanistry. Yes, so we'll just go ahead and nominate Wallen, I suppose. I think everybody should be voting for the same person. Although, I guess it's only the characters in Ireland that get to vote for this, is that correct? Maybe it's not, we'll see who votes. Nobody so far. One of our vassals has chased off some raiders, okay. Yes, it is only the Irish characters that get a vote here. Okay, we gained a tithe, which is good news. They're all voting for Wallen, though. This could be potentially problematic, having 2 kingdom titles on Tanistry if people decide to vote for different characters, but we'll just take the chance of having that for the moment and assume it'll turn out okay. So there's a possibility that some of these people might accept vassalization, but the fact that we have a foreign culture makes it pretty unlikely. Oh. Maybe not. So we'll take any that will accept. Okay, I was definitely not expecting this many to accept. Alright, so we are going to have to conquer a couple. We'll wait for the peaceful vassalizations to go through, though, before declaring anything. These people do get a vote for the succession now, of course. They're all voting for the same heir, though, so that's fine. And I think there's not really any reason to wait on conquering the other characters. We'll just go ahead and declare 2 wars at the same time. Oh, well, here's a reason. The council will not vote for it. We have 3 glory hounds and a malcontent. The glory hounds aren't in favor because the enemy is too weak. Alright, well, we could try to buy a favor from one of these people, which would give us the majority. I guess that would be okay. $134 gold. It's probably worth it. I think we can use that favor twice to declare 2 wars. I'm not sure about that, though. I guess we have to wait for a reply from him. Okay, so he owes us a favor. Which means we should be able to press our de jure claim. Or not. We have to call in the favor. Oh yeah, there we go. That makes sense. Okay, so he's returning a favor to us, so he's voting for us. In fact, just in case he doesn't vote for the other war as well, we'll declare on the double count first. Oh, we can only do 1 county at a time. Well, that's unfortunate. Guess it doesn't matter then. We'll just take whichever is the best county, which I assume is Dublin. Okay, so the council will vote for this. We'll see if the council will also vote for this. Yep, he still is returning the favor, okay. So we'll get both declared at the same time, which should be manageable, since they have no allies and we have France and Norway who are obliged to join. We'll disband these troops for now. We can probably come together over here. So I guess we're going to have to wait out a truce before we conquer Lion. He spent the favor we owed them to force their way onto the council. Okay. So he's now our spy master, and Duke Colin of Man is no longer spy master. Is he annoyed for being fired? That seems a little unfair. Alright then. At least he's not a powerful vassal, so he doesn't have the opinion bonus or opinion penalty for that. The King of Norway says he's having some trouble with one of our petty nobles who is visiting. His behavior being unacceptable would be quite an understatement. I'll have to take action soon. So we can lose 100 prestige and take responsibility, or say it's false accusations, and send an angry letter to Norway. We can afford to lose 100 prestige. That would still leave us over 2,000, which is the cap for opinion bonuses. So we'll accept responsibility. I wonder if that might end up with our alliance dissolving if we sent him an angry letter. Alright, I think we have more than enough numbers to win this battle easily. So we'll just head down and fight the army from Connacht. France has arrived. Alright, we're gonna get there on the 30th, which is before he gets out. And there should be an army from Connacht around somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, it retreated all the way over here, I see. Well, we'll just siege this county then for the moment, I suppose. Let France and Norway siege over there. France is over in force, it looks like. Which I appreciate, I suppose. Though it wasn't really necessary. Our niece Edith needs an education. So she is curious, playful, and conscientious, as well as quick. So diplomacy would be good. As would intrigue. Or stewardship. But not learning. So diplomacy, intrigue, or stewardship. I guess we'll go with diplomacy. Alright, with the help of Norway here, we can actually assault this, so I think we'll do that. Hopefully end this war a bit sooner. And we could just about assault this as well, but it would be pretty costly, and since it's a city, it'll siege quickly anyway, so just do this one the slower way. Alright, we get faster levy reinforcements. They are sieging us up here, so might want to do something about that at some point. After years of careful planning, this guy here from Oriel has raised a large army of exiles, mercenaries, etc. and is off to press his claim on Glamorgan. Okay. Good luck to him. Ooh, our name has stretched all the way across Ireland now, that's cool. So he's got 1.7k versus Glamorgan's 1.8k, so it's going to be a pretty close one. No allies on either side. We won our siege, getting us up to 82%. Somebody else, our son in fact, seeks to kill Wallen of Scotland. We'll just turn a blind eye to that one. Ooh, and we have died of severe stress, presumably. So we are King Wallen now. He did not get killed in any of the plots against him. And our heir is our cousin Somerled, who is actually a pretty decent character, I think. At least he's pretty good at martial stuff. He died of severe stress at the age of 64, so be it. Alright, so Council is going to be discontent, which is potentially a problem. We do need to nominate successors for our titles to hopefully make sure that Somerled here is our heir. Unless there's a better choice, I don't think there is. Alexander would be the other choice. But I think Somerled is the better character in most respects. So we'll vote for him for Scotland and for Ireland. And hope that everyone else follows suit. We need an ambition. And the only one available is to become a paragon of virtue, so I guess we'll take that. Our heir is unmarried. Well, I guess we will get him married under the assumption that he will remain as our heir. So I guess because he's only our cousin, we don't actually get any non-aggression pacts for this, so I guess we'll just get somebody with good traits, preferably a genius. 23-year-old genius or 10-year-old genius. Obviously we would have to wait a few years for. I think we'll just go with the immediate marriage. Okay, so we could and probably will have factions pop up at this point, so let's keep an eye on this. We will take the prestige, since that will help with vassal opinion, and we have a pretty good amount of gold already. We haven't chosen a focus yet, but we might see if we are going to need some diplomacy before doing that. And we already have a dangerous faction after the Earl of Ulster has joined the Council Power faction. So he isn't on the council, and neither is the Duchess. I guess the discontentment of the council doesn't even matter for the purposes of that faction. He's joined the other faction as well. But, oh, here we go. Now the Duke of Galloway has joined, so this is the real problem. He is at 64 opinion though, which is not too bad. We could potentially get him out of that with a gift, maybe? That would get him up to 78. Very close. I think that's worth doing. Especially if we happen to have an honorary title available. Well, we don't want to make him the designated regent. But if we could gain a bit more prestige or something, we could potentially get him out of that. For now, though, we'll just hope that the faction doesn't fire. We are about to win this war, which should give us some prestige, I think. Renewed jihad. The House of Islam is under grave threat from the onslaught of heathens and infidels in Africa. In response, His Magnificence, the Caliph, has declared that an era of renewed jihad is upon the world. The western regions of the Ummah must be retaken at all costs. All righteous Muslim men should prepare to join the ranks of the Mujahideen for the upcoming struggles. This signals a renewed era of Islamic expansion. Disturbing news. Though it is fairly remote from us up here in Scotland. Alright, so we did get to 100%. We can enforce our demands. We gain 53 prestige, which will help slightly. But we do also gain this county directly, which is useful. We can grant it to somebody, or actually for the moment just keep it since we have the domain limit. And the title loss on succession should just go away. I think, yes, okay. So we're 95% against Connacht as well. France has decided to give up the siege, so maybe we'll just go and fight their army to end that one quickly. For now, though, we are out of time for this episode, so we'll leave it here. Thanks for watching, and join me again next time.